as we get set for round number 3 here at, or round number 4 actually, over here at California. Nick Mace has the pole, Luke Martin is starting in second. Here we go, green flag is out, and we are racing here at California. Here's a new driver for this race weekend, for this race car right here. Kyle Collins. Ryan Acosta got fired from the Ford team. Kind of got let go there for being inactive. But Kyle Collins running side by side with the car he drove for the first 2 races. Did not race in Las Vegas, but Kyle Collins is back and driving the Ford car. We got a car up in the wall there. Someone sideways up there in the wall. And I think that was Cooper Cyron, but is anyone else involved in anything? No, but Cooper Cyron did hit the wall. Here comes Sky Commons in the number 9 here early on in the going here. Oh boy, the Fuel Brothers car has got together off turn number 4, but Sky Commons trying to take the lead here. Not going to get at the line there, but Sky Commons looking in the number 9 to lead the first lap for that number 9 team for this season. Caution number 1 would come out here on lap number 4 here going into terminal 1. 4 wide here, Trent Togger, Jesse Turner, they all got really close together. Sean Galligan was there, and Dom Capps, who has not had a very good start to the season, is up against the wall, is there as well. However, a caution would come out, but Sky Commons would lead us back to the green flag with his teammate Nick Perkles riding behind him there. Chris Louvier, he's up here as well with Jordan Newman. They're all trying to lead their first laps of the season. Noah Hart has not led at all since the season as well. And the 66 car, Alan Cavanaro, is doing really well as well up here for ARC Racing. Fantastic showing for them. And Vince Allen, he's also not led at all this season so far. We're hearing that Luke Martin may have had a tire go down or something right there. Luke Martin had just came down pit road and got some tires and some fuel there, and he's now backing out and underway, but he's going to go 1 lap down because of it. Not a very good start to the 2015 season for Luke Martin. Coreweiser Racing has been really strong for this Speed Weeks here, for this weekend actually. Luke Martin has been fighting his way back forward, and if caution would have come out, he would get his lap back. But Jeff James right now leads, and he's been one of the strongest cars all season. He's like 3rd or 4th in the point standings. He's 3rd in the point standings. Zorfox, he's up there in the points as well. I cannot recall if James Zorfox has won any of this season so far. And the caution flag is out again, and Kyle Collins, who had a good run going inside the top 10 for Monster Energy Racing, he's involved in a crash right here. Well, it looks like it's going to be an incident between Kyle Collins and the car that he drove with for the first 2 races here. Watch right here. Right there, gets hooked right there by Kyle Collins, and wham, right there, the barrier catches the car and stops it. Luckily, the barrier ended up slowing the car down, so it wasn't that big of an impact there, but Kyle Collins crashes with Sky Commons, who, they was both having a good run for their new teams there. But that's the same car that that Kyle Collins raced for the first 2 races, but now they're going to be out of the race. Oh, and by the way, Luke Martin got his lap back by beating the pace car, but beating his teammate back. I'm sure Jeff James probably helped him get that lap back there. So yeah, before we get even back and underway of racing again, James Zorfox's engine is gone in smoke and is rubbing against Nick Perkles, and wow. James Zorfox had a good car for this race weekend here, and his chances of grabbing a win here is done. That sucks, but we're halfway now. Coreweiser Racing is 1st and 2nd, with Jeff James, who has done an amazing job for the start of this season. Then it is Nick Perkles in 2nd. Jake Bassinger, the points leader, is right there in 3rd. 4th is Nick Mace. 5th right there. All the Mace cars are together right here. Nick Mace, Jordan Davis, Ashley Mace, and Vince Allen, and also the Fuel Brothers Racing team is up here as well in 8th and 9th, moving their way up forward now. Michael White, who just came off of having like a pretty much the best finish of his season so far in the first few races here, he's running midfield. Luke Martin, after getting his lap back, is charging his way through the field. Cooper Cyron not having a very good run. Him and his teammate Sean Perkins running around the same spot here. Perkins has done terrible to what his expectations were for this season. So is Dylan Young. Hunter Davis running pretty solid. Henry Kavanaugh, Andres Allen running together there. Matt DeLeo. Oh boy, Kavanaugh nearly hit DeLeo. Lamas, Fisher, McGwirt, his first race here, replacing Jeffrey Lynn here. Charles Jackson, there's Noah Hart. This is where all the fast guys are. A lot of these guys are up here. Charles Sanford. The Yamp cars were doing really well here. We had Louviere, Sanford, and Sorpox at one point. We're all up here. But right now, Jeff James leads the charge. He's got a really fast car, but I don't know if anybody can stop him here. Here's one guy I'm really wondering about, Richard Johnson. He's really not been showing out as much as he is used to. Richard Johnson, he's not had a very best start to the 2015 season, and right now, him and Yamp car of Chris Louviere are running around near the rear of the field. Malik Nevins is 2. So is Stephen Fuller III. Some guys are really struggling here that have fast teams here, but we got a battle for the lead here. Nick Perkles has got a run and down the inside of Jeff James now. Jeff James and Jake Bassinger, they have wins so far this season. We have 2 different winners out of 3 races here. Bassinger dives low, 3 wide for the race lead. Nick Mace down the inside in the number 48 Lowe's, or not Lowe's, but the number 48 Papa Murphy Chevy. Nick Mace has won here before, back in season 13. Sanford's going to come up here in the mix as well. 3 wide racing, beating the banging here. They're really racing hard up here. Ashley Mace down the inside here with Jordan Davis there. Whoa, boy! Jake Bassinger got sideways there. Nick Perkles kind of turned him sideways there. Charles Sanford up to second now. Nick Mace leads the way. Look at this guy cracking inside the top 10. Luke Martin is on a mission, guys. After having some problems on the race car, had to come in the pit road, win a lap down. Teammate Jeff James gave him his lap back. He's inside the top 10 now, and is going right past Bassinger and Perkles, and is up to 4th place, and now up to 3rd. Nick Mace leads over Jeff James, who has been the superstar of the season so far, and Martin dives to his inside here now, to the inside for 2nd. Luke Martin is on a mission. Coreweiser Racing not playing around. Mace Enterprises trying to hold off this 88 car here. Nick Mace trying to get back to victory lane for the first time in 2015. Jeff James, who has had a blistering fast race car since the start of this season. And now Luke Martin, he wants a turn to take chances his way here. Luke Martin has had terrible runs the first 3 races. And Luke Martin went a lap down from 39th all the way up to 1st place. Luke Martin is your new race leader. And Coreweiser Racing, not counting Sky Collins, who wrecked who wrecked earlier in the race with Kyle Collins. They're 1st and 3rd, right? 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. And here comes Ashley Mace, who's also 4th in the point standings. She's had an amazing season to what I thought she was going to have. I thought she was going to be the weakest link for Mace Enterprises, but she's being consistently strong here. Jordan Davis and Jacob Hart, they need good runs here. They're up here in the mix as well. Sean Perkins had been charging his way up close to the top 10. This is the highest we've seen Perkins run in so far this entire season so far, but him and Cody Lamas hooked together in turn 1 and 2, and Perkins, well, I mean, he's been having some bad luck so far this season. Him and Lamas there up against the wall there. Caution flag is out. Late in the race, Nick Perkles is coming on the radio that he may be having a flat tire or something. And Perkles in the number 11 had a good run going there, and Perkles, he drops down pit road, and the other Coreweiser Racing car, he's been having some really good cars all season really, and Perkles, he came close to winning at Rockingham, and yep, we're hearing that he had a flat tire. That sucks right there for Nick Perkles. He had a good chance at maybe winning this race there, but he thought he had a tire soft there, and Perkles brings it in, and any chances of a win now is gone. Well, we get back in on our way of racing once again. Jeff James did not get a good start. He spun the tires there, and Luke Martin tried to make the pounce up high, but that's probably not going to be the best groove there. And Jacob Hart right there, he's going to be hungry for a win. Actually, Mace and Jordan Davis, I know they really want to get up there and win. Luke Martin as well really wants to win here. And Martin, he was 39th a lap down, and he got back on the lead lap, and now it is basically his driver versus the owner of Corweiser Racing here. Two Corweiser Racing cars have dropped out of contention here. Two of them contending. The last two remaining on the racetrack battling for the win are up here first and second. A Fuel Brothers Racing car and a Mace car diving low for 3 wide for second here. But Jeff James is going to hold off here. But it looks as if maybe Luke Martin might lose the lead to Jeff James. He's giving him the heat here. Jeff James, Luke Martin racing pretty hard here. With only a few laps to go, Martin has had terrible luck the first 3 races so far. Looking to try and turn his luck around here. He got back on the lead lap from help from Jeff James here. Jeff James is just wanting to win. Jeff James just wanted to help his owner out by getting him back on the lead lap there. And that little move by letting Luke Martin get his lap back might cost Jeff James the win here, because Martin has a blistering fast race car here. And Martin slices down the inside to try and take the lead back from Jeff James. With only 6 laps of racing remaining, Luke Martin back to the point here in California. It's actually really cool to see the Mace cars doing real. All 4 of them together here in these last few laps here. They're running right here in the top from 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th, but not battling for the win here. Jeff James back at Luke Martin again. These last few laps are going to be very exciting here. Martin and Jeff James here. Jeff James trying to get win number 3 of this season and only on the 4th race here. Jeff James has had fast race cars, and so has the guy behind him there. Where is he at now? There he is, Jake Bassinger there. He is the points leader and has been really consistent. He has been finishing in the top 10 in every race so far this season. Boy. Jeff James got past Luke Martin, and Martin drives it in deep. And Jacob Hart is there as well. Hart could upset here and get up there. Nick Mace and Jordan Davis clawing their way back up here as well. Martin to the inside of Jeff James here. 2 Fords, a Toyota, and a Chevy. Oh boy, here we go. Nick Mace the inside here, a past winner here at California. Here we go, 3 laps of racing to go now. Luke Martin in the number 6 Silver Bullet Ford leads the way. Jeff James, he's going to drive it in deep here, and it's going to stick there. Look at Jeff James able to drive it in there and hold it to the bottom of the racetrack. Jeff James off turn number 2 is going to get the advantage, and it will probably take the lead into turn number 3 and 4. Nick Mace and Jacob Hart, they have not been the better cars this season, or not this season, but they have not been the better cars all race. But they are up here with a chance to win here. Nick Mace the inside here, and his Papa Murphy Chevrolet. With 2 laps of racing remaining, Jeff James leads the way. Nick Mace is trying to split up the Corweiser Racing duo up here and try and take his 48 Chevrolet to victory lane here. Corweiser Racing has been the dominant force this season so far. Jeff James trying to get his 4th career win and his 3rd win of the season. Nick Mace, can he do it? Can him or Jacob Hart do something with him here? Luke Martin's got shuffled up high here, but he's battling hard with Jacob Hart to hold on to 3rd. And look at that run by Martin to keep Jacob Hart back. And look at this, Luke Martin, what a run he has here to just fly right past Jacob Hart and underneath of Nick Mace now. And look at the run he's going here. Luke Martin's trying to get up here to Jeff James, but I think Jeff James is going to be able to hold him at bay here. Down the back straightaway for the final time. Jeff James did Luke Martin a favor with giving him his lap back. When Luke Martin went a lap down earlier in the race, Jeff James let Luke Martin get his lap back here, and they're now side by side here. Martin trying to steal the win here. Down the inside, side by side, but it's Jeff James at the stripe, taking his 3rd win of the season. Back-to-back wins. Jeff James gave Luke Martin a favor by giving him his lap back earlier in the race when Luke Martin was a lap down in 39th. And Jeff James almost let that chance of Martin getting his lap back slip away of getting a win there. Luke Martin, 39th a lap down early in the race, gets all the way back up to second, a nose behind Jeff James from winning there. Corey Weiser Racing 1-2, and Nick Mays comes up in third right there with, I think maybe Jacob Hart in fourth. Yep, and Jordan Davis gets his first top 5 of the season there. Congratulations to Jeff James again on the win for this weekend here. The man's on a mission here. He's doing an amazing job for his first season here. Corey Weiser Racing is a force to be reckoned with for the 2015 season. I can guarantee you that. Corey Weiser Racing 1-2 here at California. Let's get yourselves to your finishing results and standings after round number 4.